absurd seems completely sane.
What's up, people? Strap in. This is going to be a good one. I'm in a semi-serious mood today. So we got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about a lot of truth that needs to be told here. Let me preface everything. Again, I know nothing about the stock market. I have no idea where it's going to be tomorrow. I have no idea what's going to happen today. But I also know that yesterday we did 12 trades and they all worked following my simple VWAP reversal strategy that's been working now for 18 years. I would also like to mention that I am not the richest man in the world, nor am I the best trader in the world. I do not trade large size. I just trade just to make a little bit of money and teach other people how to trade. It's very difficult to trade large size and talk and teach all at the same time due to the fact that the larger the size I have on, the less I want to talk while I'm trading because I'm a little bit nervous if I have some large size on. That's only human nature. You can appreciate that, right? That's why lately, and I hope you saw the post from yesterday, I have a portfolio right now, what I call the shit stocks. I love these stocks. I love these, the ATIs, the US Steels, the Alcoas, the FCX, the CRE, the Team, the POT. I'm probably missing a few right now. But yesterday was an extraordinary day. Even as the market was getting hammered, my stocks were staying strong. Now, just let me go back a little bit. We've been making these videos, or I've been making these videos for quite a while. Started out as just me getting some shit off my chest, yelling at myself at how disappointed I was, trying to pick market directions, usually always shorting the cues back in the day. Remember that? Always shorting the cues, always looking for the market to go down. Remember, I'm a bear by nature. I don't believe in the stock market. I believe it exists, but I also believe that all that negativity and manipulation and shadiness that you know about the stock market, the whole Occupy Wall Street movement, that whole thing, I believe all of that. The only true people that are making money, easy money on Wall Street, are the corrupt analysts and the shady back-end deals that are going on behind the large banks and the brokerage. Because obviously, if you know a stock's going to move, you tell a few people, they get in, and then they sell it to the public, and then they make money, and nobody really knows what's going on because there's no way to prove any of this. Yeah, sure, there's a little bit of criminality going on that gets caught once in a while to make us feel better, but most of it's all criminal negotiations going on right now that there's nothing we can do about it. So what we try to do is we try to find something that works most of the time. We try to do what we do and get in and get out. Now, again, let me just also say, right now, I don't think I'm ever going to own a significant amount of stock in my life ever again. If I didn't buy and hold in '09, if I didn't hold my Tesla, which I believed in at $35, if I didn't hold my Apple or my Google, there's no way, no matter how much this market dips now, I'm really not enthusiastic about owning stocks anymore. All right? No matter how much I think we might rally after all this nonsense is over and we might go up, because there's been so much activity on a daily basis where it's easier to predict where a stock's going to be 20 minutes from now, which is what I said on television. If you guys don't know, I was the poster child for day trading back when I was 27 years old. I was on 2020, I was on 60 Minutes, I was on some Italian channel, I was over in Europe. I was like the face of this whole thing. Yeah, me with hair and all the whole thing. You've probably seen the videos. So I'm going to stick to with my predictions of every 20 minutes because I know that I can make money. And then at the end of the day, I could sleep well and not be worried about the market crashing or the market gapping up if I'm short or whatever. Now, again, I own some stock, but we're talking about, if all the stocks I own right now went to zero, well, the Qs would kind of hurt if they went to zero. That would be pretty crazy. But U.S. Steel, Alcoa, FCX, ATI, POT, Cree. I got 300 shares of this, 200 shares of that, 300 of this, 200 of that, 300 of that, 200 of that. If they all went to zero, I'd still be able to survive and thrive in life. That's the kind of portfolio that I'm holding. Now, none of that's probably going to happen. Maybe one of those do go to zero because there are some issues. The Joy Global, obviously, we've had. There's some stocks that are looking like they may go to zero. But down at these levels, it was a nice idea to pick up a couple of hundred shares of all these stocks and pretty much hope for the best. Because when you own a stock, what are you doing? You're buying it and you're hoping and praying that it goes up. Also, the classic definition of a pyramid scam is getting in on the bottom and hoping somebody gets in underneath you and gets you out, otherwise known as the stock market. You're buying something, hoping some other sucker comes along and buys it so you can get out. So, by definition, the stock market is a pyramid scam. Like it or not. So, all that being said, now I want to go back and, well, first of all, I'm going to have to limit what I do on these videos now. The reason I'm going to take some of these videos a little bit more serious, I'm going to save the comedy and the fun times for the private room, is because if you guys have noticed, maybe now, paranoia, right, is only paranoia if it's not true. If you think someone's watching you and you're paranoid about it, and it turns out somebody was watching you, you're not paranoid. You were just intuitive. Now, I've been doing these videos since, what? It's going to be 10 years, right? 07 when I started. I've said some comments on these videos, and I've seen those exact comments come up on Family Guy, on The Simpsons, South Park, and on some other television shows. As you know, and these are verbatim, I've said some jokes on here that I heard on South Park, like the banking episode. Well, thanks for your deposit, and it's gone. I said that before that episode came out, if you know about the episode on South Park, and it's gone. I said that, and there it was on the episode. So maybe somebody's watching me. Who knows? Maybe there's a few writers out there scanning YouTube videos for finance funny, which I was tagging my videos as finance and funny, and they watched it, and they said, hey, that's a funny joke, and they wrote it into the script. But now I'm tired of it, because I'm not getting paid. And this last one is the show Billions. All right? Now, maybe you don't know, but remember my channel was named Thanos43. 43 is a number that's been following me around for about 15, 20 years. Everywhere I look, 43, they mention it on TV. It just comes up in my life. Way, way too much for a coincidence. Something about 43. So, just remember that. Keep that in mind. Now, remember also, when I started doing these videos, I didn't want anybody to know my true identity in case, I didn't want any stalkers. And I used the Krull name, right? So we got 43, and we got Krull. And of course, I talk about how we all live in the Matrix, and I try to read the Matrix. I call the stock market the Matrix. I call whatever we do is the Matrix, and sometimes I'm reading the Matrix well, I'm not reading the Matrix well. All right. So, in one episode of Billions, I think it was episode 2, somebody had lost $43 million. I was like, oh my God, there it is again, $43 million. And okay, well, whatever. They just used 43, whatever. That always happens a lot. But then there's a trader at one of the meetings down on his luck, and he says, I don't know what it is. I'm not reading the Matrix well right now. And they're like, we pay you to read the Matrix. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, it's like they're having a conversation with me right now. So he's talking about the Matrix. This guy's mentioning 43, but that's not where it ends. There's a guy that's been indicted by one of the lawyers that comes to, he sees him in the park. Guess what his name was? Take a wild guess. His name was Mr. Krull. Are you fucking kidding me? Krull, The Matrix, and the 43 all in one episode, and you tell me that I'm paranoid? Come on. So guys, if you're watching these videos and you're writing some stuff in, I'd like a new job. Because I'm about to retire from this probably in the next 18 months, okay? We've had some fun, sure. Made some videos, great. Had some laughs, yeah. Made some money, oh. Lost some money, ooh. And I'm building what I blew up. You know, remember, I had a nice business that was going well, and then I moved to T3, and everybody got pissed off. Remember that? Remember that experiment? T3 basically said, hey, why don't you come on over to work with us? We'll let you do videos. You'll bring your people over. And I got to T3, and they wouldn't let me make any videos. I actually got fined twice working at T3. One time, I got fined from T3 because I was making a video about how much I like Chipotle Mexican Grill stock if it broke 180. 180. I said if it breaks 180, probably the stock's going to go to around 250. And I went on and on about how much I love the burritos and how long the lines are. And I also mentioned that there are no Mexicans working at Chipotle. And they said, you can't say that in the video. So I wasn't fined for this video. They just wouldn't put it up on the website. You can't say something about Mexicans. I said, is that racist for me to say that there are no Mexicans working at a Mexican restaurant in my neighborhood? And like, oh yeah, you can't touch upon that. And then I also mentioned something about Obama in one of the videos, and they said I can't talk about. So basically everything I did there, they found some fault in. And then one time I mentioned how stop losses are for pussies, and I don't even like to talk about it anymore because I offended so many people with what I said live on the air that they actually fined me $250. Can you believe that? What a bunch of faggots. Oh, that's what I said. Right. Stop losses are for pussies and faggots. That's what I said. Get over it. But they fined me. But what they were trying to do at T3 was sucker all the people that I knew and all the people that I had as, paying subscribers and people on the internet that, I had a pretty decent following. Their idea was, let's get Kenny to come over to our firm. We'll sucker all his people into our firm, and then we'll find a reason to get rid of him. That's what they did. So if you're working at T3, by the way, I haven't mentioned this in a long time, but fuck you. Because I know what you did. I know what you were trying to do. But I thought that maybe somehow we'd be able to work it out because they did have a really nice studio, and they did have lots of audio-video equipment there that really blew my mind, and I wanted to work there. And also, by the way, T3, I was making videos in your studio and releasing them on YouTube, and you didn't even know. You didn't even know. I put out about 25 videos from your studio with half-naked women, and you didn't even know what I was doing in there. So, for your compliance, yeah, get a fucking clue. So there you go. We got the billions, we got the videos, you got your T3. But let's go back. Let's go back to all the people on StockTwits and Yahoo message boards and all that other crap. Now, I could laugh now at you GoPro assholes and you Fitbit dicks and, I don't know, let's name Walter Energy in there and your US Steel. Now, when I put up a post on StockTwits and I say, you might want to get out of this stock, I love the fact that people call me, and this is my favorite, you're a basher, you're a hater, or my favorite was a paid basher, as if US Steel called me and said, yeah, Ken, our stock is just, awful. Can we pay you 10 grand so you could post on StockTwits how bad the stock is? A paid basher for GoPro. As if they paid me to warn people about what I'm seeing on a chart. And all I did was catch grief. Emails. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, you dumb shorting bastard. This is a social media company. Something that you don't understand. How I don't understand. What I do understand about the stock market is that every stock, every single one of them, sucks. You understand? By nature, the stock market is a scam. That's all it is. Every stock, no matter how well it does, it still sucks. They all eventually run out of steam and will go down. The reason that Dow Jones continues to go up is that they take the shitty stocks out of the Dow Jones and put the better ones into it. You do realize that, right? If the Dow Jones still had Bethlehem Steel, the Dow Jones would be at 6,000. But they take the shitty stocks out of the Dow Jones so then they could perpetuate the lie of it continuing to go up. You do realize that, right? The Dow 30 is not the same Dow 30 from 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's fake. So, now here's where you can laugh back at me and you want to make fun of me, you want to curse at me, you want to yell at me. When I was shorting GoPro at $70 on its way down and I made 2 or 3 grand on a couple of hundred shares and I was feeling proud of myself. And I said the stock's probably going to go to 20. And I was catching all that grief. Now, you could say, fuck you, if you were so smart, you would have held it short. You got me. You got me. If I was that smart, I would have held it short. But I don't have an unlimited amount of funds. If I had $1 billion under management, there's no way I would have covered GoPro. There's no way I would have covered my US Steel. There's no way I would have covered 80% of the positions that I had on. But I don't have the unlimited amount of money to hold positions like that. And who the hell wants to be short all the time? You're kind of eventually rooting for something to go up because you'd rather stocks go up because in theory you have more potential to make money when they're going up than when they're going down because the end game is only zero. Now, for all you idiots out there that are still going to comment about like a stock like Ameren or Mankind, MNKD, I don't understand this one, or Ameren, or any of these piece of shit stocks. When somebody posts on stock twits, and it's not just me, if someone says, you might want to get out of this stock, it looks like it's about to break down, and you call him an asshole for bashing or shorting, no one's short Mankind anymore. These people, if you're short a 70-cent stock, you're just stupid. I don't care if it goes to zero. There's no reason. Not even at $1.50 maybe. But once the stock goes under $2.50, who gives a shit? What are you going to make? Unless you're short 100,000 shares at $2.50, which is absolutely ridiculous to do. Because why would you take that kind of risk? We're just saying that it looks like it's a dying stock. Maybe you want to get out. Now, I know when you own a stock at 9 and it's at 70 cents, the last thing you want to do is give up now. It's only another 70 cents. But stop calling everybody a basher or a shorter. That's not the case. Some people like me are just saying, look, if it breaks $1.50, like with Walter Energy, holy shit. When I said, look, if Walter Energy breaks 15, this thing could go to $5. Oh my God, the bile that was sent my way, the disgusting emails. I'm like, I was a part of that disaster. I owned it from 20, but when I said, if it breaks 15, this thing's going to $5. I sold it. One of the best moves I ever did. I had 5,000 shares of Walter Energy. That was my favorite stock at one point. It was hanging in there. Remember, it's $17. Stock's at zero now. Right? How about Rig? Right? The analyst, we had the fight with the analyst. When I sold that stock at $13.50, I took a 7-point hit on it, on some of the shares. But then the stock's at $8 now, $9. So it's a win for me. US Steel. Remember the US Steel? I was a champion of that stock. Buying that dip back, what is it, almost like 2 years ago? $19, bought more at 21, bought more at 30, bought more at 36. We bought more at 40. Yeah, 40 on US Steel. Because we were thinking $50, we'll sell it all. Next thing you know, gets to 46, the numbers come out, stock reverses intraday. I was like, you know what? I'm not a big fan of this reversal here. I'm dumping it all. And that was at around $36. So we lost some money on the ones that we bought above 36. We got out flat on the ones we bought at 36. But the stock went to $6. So it's a winning trade. And that's why people blow up. That's why people lose money in the stock market. You're not, I don't know if the word's smart, but you're too arrogant and too stubborn to admit you're wrong. You have to admit you're wrong. Like the people that just don't want to give up on GoPro, what were you seeing in the stock once it broke $50 that made you want to believe? I'm curious, what makes you believe in some of these stocks? Is it just the emotion of not taking the loss, or do you truly believe that you're seeing something? Because what you should do is stop in to my room and I'll show you a chart that'll scare the shit out of you, and you'll say, wow, maybe I should sell this stock if it breaks down into this level. It's really that simple. And again, I know nothing. I don't know what these companies do, what their earnings reports are. I don't know when an analyst is going to be paid to say upgrade, downgrade. And let me bring it back to Fitbit now. If a company stock has one product and that product runs its course in life, like I don't know what Fitbit, I don't even know why anybody would want one of these anyway, when you could do the same stuff on your Apple Watch. Oh, no, you can't. Shut up. I told you guys it would be the greatest short of 2016, right? And that was at $32. The stock's down 50% right now. So, by the way, we covered our short at $18 from 32. So now if it goes back to 32, you can't say it was a bad idea. Just remember what I just said. We shorted at 32 and we covered at 18. Think about it. It's over now. And if you want to harp on that QQQ trade, you stupid son of a bitch, I said at 108.12, you better sell and go short. Said it. Did it. Sure, we own a little bit for the long-term portfolio, hoping and praying that we don't spontaneously combust and this market goes to zero again. But again, it's not a meaningful position anymore. Remember those January 2017 115 calls? Yeah, sold them. And so did everybody else. So now we're back to what made me money from 1997 to 2001. Getting in, getting out, and staying in cash. And that's what I'm good at. And the only way to make money, and the only way to be sane, and the only way to be happy is find something that you're good at and continuously do it. It's boring. We do the same trade every day. VWAP reversal, buy stock. Gilead yesterday. Gilead 2 days ago into the number. Anyway, I'm not going to give you a list of stocks. And now for all you geniuses out there that thought the market was going to rally yesterday, no you didn't. Because at the end of the day when the market was up, you can't say, I knew the market was going to go up, because there's no way. Because not only did the market start higher, then get slaughtered, which was the trade to short when we went negative and broke the VWAP, then we rallied, then we rolled over and broke new lows, then we rallied. So for you to say that you thought the market was going to rally, no. There's no way you would have been long the entire day without getting out at least 5 times and getting your ass chopped up. There's no way. You got to be nimble, you got to be liquid, and you just got to follow the rules and regulations. Remember, every stock sucks. The market knows more than you. Somebody with more money is manipulating it. All you can do is get in, get out, and try to make a little money. You make 20 cents on a $6 stock, you're a hero. It would take you about a year and a half. It'll take you about 9 years to make that in the bank. I bought FCX at $4.35. The stock's at $5. You know how long it would take me to make that in a bank? Sure. I've only got 400 shares of it. It's not a huge amount of money, but my money just served me better in FCX for the last couple of weeks than it would in a bank for 10, 15 years. And that's the way I'm looking at all these dog shit stocks. Well, my money, is it better to take a flyer here or a shot in these garbage stocks now than leaving the money in the bank? Now, for you negative Nancy's out there, well, if you were so confident, how come you didn't buy 10,000 shares? How come you didn't buy 500 million calls? Because these are shitty stocks. And I'm assuming one of them is going to we're going to wake up and one of them is going to be at zero, whether it be pot, because apparently we don't need food anymore, or agriculture. We don't need mining equipment, Joy Global. We definitely don't need oil or coal or anything energy related. But let's wrap it up with what's happening right now. We rallied yesterday, we closed, blah, blah, blah. We've been chopping around. The market's gapping down a little bit. If it goes green, we probably will have a rally. But I want to talk about team. IPO, we bought it at 27. It was at 31. We didn't sell it. It went all the way back down to 20 bucks. Like I said it would. It would probably test the IPO price, 22. Then it broke it. We bought more at 22. So now our cost average is right around, what 27, 22, blah, blah, blah. Do the math. The numbers are coming out tonight. Now, one thing I do know about Wall Street is that when an IPO comes out, the first quarter they report, the first report, this is the one that they're going to lie about. If they're ever going to lie, this is the one. They want to impress some people, right? They're not going to come out and say, oh, yeah, we suck. Sell our IPO. No, they're going to come out. They're going to lie, cheat, steal, finagle these numbers to make them look as best as possible. They're also going to pay off 3 or 4 analysts to upgrade the stock. They're going to announce whatever they can announce. New products, buybacks. They're going to say whatever they need to say to get that stock going. And that's why we bought the stock. We bought a little bit more yesterday. Team. Now, I don't know what they're going to do after they report because, again, it's all manipulated anyway. But you might want to take a look at Team. If this thing has a good number, they might squeeze the shit out of this stock tomorrow or even tonight after the close. So keep an eye on Team today. We will be. All right. That's a half an hour of information. Market's rip-roaring right now, apparently. We were down to 100.80 on the Qs, and we've just rallied 70 cents. So again, when you have that much movement before the market even opens up, usually just sit back and let's see what happens. The trades come to you. All right, guys. Also, by the way, Fitbit, like I was saying, if a stock only goes up when it's being upgraded, it's the glaring indication that it's a manipulated stock. They're trying so hard to get people, to sucker people into that stock right now. It's amazing. And all it does is keep on going down. But eventually, when that last guy does give up, you probably will get a 10% or 20% bounce on it one day. Maybe when it hits $2. Too bad for you if you still own it.